Carrie, are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. All right. I call the regular meeting of the Milliken Board of Trustees to order for May 13, 2026. It's one of those days. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Town Clerk, will you please call roll?
Trustee Cummins? He's here, so we can't hear you, Muja, sorry.
We read his lips, so.
Trustee Dean?
Here.
Trustee Nix?
Here.
Trustee Rarick?
Here.
Trustee Wakeman?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt?
Here.
Mayor Austin?
Here.
Everyone is present. I have to get
Thank
used
you.
to that one.
Do we have any changes or adjustments to the agenda? Hearing none, I will,
That's one.
oh,
Matt, we need to change the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we need to add an item after the last action item for setting the compensation of the municipal judge. That is resolution number 2026-24. And once the judge is selected, we will have a copy of that available.
okay. I'm recusing myself at the judges section, so you'll be taking that over. Okay. All right.
I move to adopt the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
Town Clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Dean?
Yes.
Trustee Nix?
Yes.
Trustee Rarick?
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Trustee Cummins? We got his yes verbally. Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt?
Yes.
Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I'm assuming by the rather large crowd, we have some citizens' comments. So therefore, citizens' comment is next. It's the point in the meeting where the public is invited to address the town board on any items except agenda items for which there is a public hearing. Public comment on public hearing items will occur during the scheduled public hearing. All comments should be directed to the town board. There is a 3-minute limit per speaker. Please approach the podium, state your name and address for the record. Who would like to go first? I'm assuming there's more than one.
Good evening, board. My name is Katie Valverde. I live at 40 East Ilex Court here in Milliken, Colorado. Good evening, trustees and Madam Mayor. My name is Katie, and I am the chairperson for the Milliken Festivals Committee. I am honored and proud to be a part of the new Milliken Festival Committee and look forward to working with the town, our citizens, and our community members and volunteers. I stand before you this evening to respectfully request that we not only have the wonderful opportunity of TRPR, but also introducing Lola Park as an additional venue. We are aware that Lola Park has been used in prior years for Beef and Bean Day, but we would like to leave this option open as for current or future planning for Milliken Festivals Committee. Thank you again for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you tonight and request both venues as an option. I look forward to providing you with an update at the next board meeting with our committee's planning, with our committee's planning, with what exciting events are coming to our town, and the beautiful additions that we plan to bring to you this year. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So were you looking for permission to use this?
So ultimately, yes, ma'am, I'm looking for permission to have the option for the committee to vote on TRPR or Lola Park as a venue for Beef and Bean Day for this year or coming years in planning.
Okay, so are there any comments from the board? It's more of an open discussion rather than each trustee. So any comments?
I don't believe they need our permission, correct? It's,
I was told as per protocol, we did need to come to the board and ask permission. Yes, sir.
I'll make some clarification on that.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and have a little discussion on that, just to make sure that
Yes, ma'am.
it is 100% clear. So the board can support you using either venue, okay? What has to happen, however, is have you had a conversation with John Davis and Ty Drage from Front Range Fire and Rescue yet?
We have put in a request for a conversation with both of them, yes, ma'am. We are awaiting conversation with them. And we have also had conversations with the Milliken Library as well as Milliken Intermediate School.
Okay, because it is the permit from Front Range Fire and Rescue that allows you to use the park.
Yes, ma'am.
We can support your activities, and certainly we do, as the festival committee. The ultimate authority on the use of the park, Lola Park, comes from Front Range Fire and Rescue and their permit process. It is quite an involved process, so probably want to start that early.
And I think definitely the committee, we understand that, but before we went into that planning and to further communications with that, we wanted to make sure whether or not that was even an option. Because if it isn't an option, then there's no reason to really go down that venue, and we can just continue to plan for TRPR appropriately.
I think, if I can interject, I think since it is a town park, she was just seeking to make sure it's okay with the town to do so. And since, of course, our staff will be working it, and also because of the town's insurance, we just want to make sure that it's fine with the board to utilize this park if decided.
Because it has not been voted on, to be completely transparent. This next Monday meeting that we have that we're holding, I will pull it to a vote as to which venue we would like to use, but I don't want to pull a vote if there isn't an option.
Yeah.
I love the option of using either park, and so with my support.
Thank you.
Same. I appreciate your time and
Thank you.
commitment, and thanks for coming and communicating with us.
Thank you, of course.
I would have no objection.
So
Me either.
you're good to go.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all
Thank
for
you.
your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, who else would like to address the board? We have such a full house, doesn't anybody want to chat with us?
Do you? Yep.
It's very odd. Okay.
Hi, you will notice that someone had to tell me it was my turn. Have difficulty hearing, so if you're responding to me, I will ask you to speak up because I'm not hearing well. My name is Sharon Morgan. I am the president of the Milliken Historical Society. We also operate the Museum of the Heritage House just around the corner from here. After going to the town hall to see what I needed to do with my request, they said I had to present before the town board, which is a simple request, but it has to be done. In 1910, at the 100-year anniversary, or I should say 2010, at the 100-year anniversary of this community, a book was created, and it is the Milliken, Town of Milliken history. It was compiled by the Town of Milliken individuals that were employed here. It was we had the senior citizens of this community, the people with the Historical Society at that time that created the book. We are out. We have a few for our purposes there that will go nowhere. We just got through giving one to the new library so that it is there in their care without being able to be checked out, but it can be used at the facility. But at this point, we have none that we can try to distribute. Now, we do sell them. There's a question there as to what we can do as far as what the publication cost will be now, as opposed to what we're selling them for. But in order for us to do anything at all, I have to have a copy release because the town of Milliken has the copyright. And it has to be in writing, and it has to be in our care. The town of Milliken purchased the ones prior, back at the centennial celebration, but I am requesting that the board give us release in written form so that we can move from there to decide what we're going to do as far as purchasing. And that's what I'm here for, is to request that.
Does the board have any concerns with the release? General discussion.
None.
No concerns.
No concerns. Administrator Powell, can you follow up on that and get us a release?
Yes.
Say it louder.
I will follow up with you and get a release done, work through our town attorney
Okay,
in
so
order
it
to
will
have
come
that.
through. So who do I need to contact? Do I need to contact Cheryl?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else wish to address the board? Okay. All right, we'll move on to the next part of the agenda. And we have a proclamation to read. All right. Whereas mental health is just as important as physical health, and taking care of our minds helps ourselves and our families, schools, and workplaces thrive. And whereas more than 1 in 5 adults in the United States faces a mental health challenge each year, and many people in our community are living with stress, anxiety, depression, trauma, substance abuse, and other mental health conditions. And whereas getting help early and having access to affordable behavioral health care can prevent crisis, reduce suicides, lower hospital stays, and prevent incarceration, leading to healthier residents of Milliken. And whereas residents of Milliken have access to compassionate, comprehensive services, including counseling, crisis response, residential care, and community-based supports through North Range Behavioral Health. And whereas North Range Behavioral Health has achieved federal CCBHC Certified Community Behavioral Health Clinic designation and is a comprehensive and essential mental health safety net provider serving Weld County. And whereas North Front Range Behavioral Health works with schools, medical providers, first responders, health and human services, employers, faith communities, and local partners to make sure mental health support is available when people need it. And whereas Mental Health Month is observed each May to raise awareness, reduce stigma, support recovery, and remind people that it is okay to ask for help. Now therefore, we, the Milliken Board of Trustees, do hereby proclaim May as Mental Health Month in Milliken. We encourage the residents, businesses, schools, government agencies, and community groups to recommit to support mental health awareness, promote understanding, and help ensure that mental health care is available to everyone who needs it. Thank you. That is our proclamation. Next, we have a very exciting swearing-in ceremony that we have been waiting for. Our very own town clerk will swear in our deputy town clerk, Michelle Martin. Get your cameras ready, please.
I'm just ready.
Yeah.
We're gonna not forget this one. Learn from my mistakes.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Michelle Martin,
I, Michelle Martin,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and enforce
that I will support and enforce
the Constitution and laws of the United States of America
the Constitution and laws of the United States of America
and the state of Colorado
and the state of Colorado
and the ordinances of the town of Milliken,
and the ordinance of the town of Milliken,
and shall faithfully perform,
and shall faithfully perform
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my abilities
the duties of deputy town clerk,
the duties of deputy town clerk
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're official.
I'm official now.
You're official.
And you're not a court clerk.
I know, I'm a court.
Don't forget, you have to train your replacement.
Did you say I have to train mine? I will do mine.
All right, next on the agenda is approval of the minutes from April 22nd, 2026 of the current board. That was the one previously. If there's no changes, I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to approve the minutes from April 22nd, 2026.
Current board.
Current board. Past board.
Oh,
Well,
current
Pat-
board, sorry,
yeah, Pat-
sorry. Current board.
We're the new
Yes.
board, that's.
Yes,
Okay.
current board.
I second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Nix,
Yes.
Trustee Rarick,
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman,
Yes.
Trustee Cummins,
Yes.
Trustee Dean,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt,
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next, we have the approval of the minutes from the second half of the meeting, which is the new board. That would be us. If there's no changes, I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to approve the minutes from April 22nd, 2026 of the new board.
I second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Rarick,
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman,
Yes.
Trustee Cummins,
Yes.
Trustee Dean,
Yes.
Trustee Nix,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt,
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the town administrator's report. Administrator Powell.
Thank you, Mayor and trustees. Quite a bit has happened in the past couple weeks. So at the last report, I told you that Don Stonebreak and I were going to attend the Hillsborough Ditch Board meeting, which we did, along with our water attorney, Scott Holwick. The main reason for this meeting was to receive additional information related to the 3 ditch companies becoming a mutual ditch company. This decision needs to be equitable for all the companies, meaning the assets on each ditch need to be appraised. The town is one of the largest shareholders on the lower ditch, which has the reservoir and oil and gas mineral rights. The combining of the ditches will most likely be voted on at the annual ditch board meeting in December. As I explained to you before, they currently run like 3 separate ditches. So that's important. I won't be here, but Don is very well versed in this. And Scott Holwick may also attend that meeting. I met with Matt Lesurf and Chris LeMay on Friday, May 8th to review and discuss all the applications received for the town administrator position. There have been 26 applications received. The town board will be reviewing these applications at a special meeting on May 20th. Rick Mundy and Connecting Point will be installing and configuring a new sonic wall firewall that will connect Town Hall directly to its new direct fiber connection. This will allow Town Hall to be on its own standalone fiber connection to the internet, separating the Town Hall from the police department. This project will take place this Friday evening. This will also complete the network refresh project. The pre-bid meeting for the Ehrlich Lake Drainage Improvement Project occurred on Monday. There were 13 construction companies in attendance. Francis Avenue was supposed to have a mill and overlay, but when the contracted companies started their work, they discovered there was only 2 inches of asphalt. Typically, there is 4 inches or more. This road will likely need to be totally reconstructed, which is at a much higher cost. This will be added to the capital improvements project list. Well County Road 378, mill and lay project started on Monday and should be completed by the end of the week. The Arbor Day celebration at Lilla Park was on Friday, April 24th, and it was a huge success. 3rd graders from Milliken Intermediate School were a part of the celebration. A big thank you to Tammy and Keith for putting this celebration together. The Finance Department has been busy working on the 2025 audit with the auditors. They have also been working on a new payroll timekeeping system, which will alleviate a lot of unnecessary papers, and in the end will be much better program than what we currently have. Carrie will be attending the International Institute of Municipal Clerks Conference in Reno, Nevada from May 15th through May 21st. Doing this will help her achieve her master's clerk's certificate. I can't even say the word, certification. If you haven't noticed it yet, the new wind turbine bench was placed at the dog park, has been artistically painted with dogs and etc. The next bench located at Lola Park will begin on Thursday, which will include all the handprints of the Mickle kids being placed on the interior portion of the bench. But yeah, you need to see the one out at the dog park. It's super, super cool. So I don't know, Chelsea, who did the book cover for the library, is the same person that's doing these. And she's quite creative. So anyway, that's my report. If you have any questions.
Questions from the board?
I have one question on the ditch company with the combination. How does that affect our standing in terms of being majority or minority in our ownership?
So it will lessen our storage capability because it'll be one ditch. And so, yeah, we have, I believe, 14 shares, am I correct? 14 shares of the lower ditch. And so it will dilute that for our storage purposes and use.
What's the benefit of combining? Obviously, they're run, I assume there's duplication of process and things in terms of efficiency.
So right now, take, for example, the ditch rider, Chris Thompson, he gets a separate paycheck from each company. So that process would be made easier. Equipment purchased to operate the ditch is split between the 3 ditch companies. That would just be one. Erica Schultz, who is the secretary, is paid the same way, 3 different ditch companies. So that would alleviate those duplicate efforts. But I think it's very important to pay attention to make sure everything is equitable across the ditch, and to understand what impact it could have on the lower end.
Yeah.
The lower end is kind of asset rich and money poor, but that wouldn't remain the same once that reservoir is rehabilitated. So,
any benefits on usage going forward combined then versus remaining the same? How does it impact? Is it a positive or negative for the town, I guess?
Without knowing what the appraisal is, I can't say.
Okay.
And they're hoping to have those done and hopefully to have a meeting in November with those figures before the meeting, the annual meeting in December.
Okay.
But I think it's very important for everybody to pay attention.
Yeah.
I can see the benefit, on one hand, but I also want to make sure that because of the ownership we have in that, and the fact that we have agreed with the ditch company to help offset some of their costs for this grant. So we have to weigh those in. And how is all that going to equate in the end?
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
It's an important thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but thank you for the question. I appreciate that.
All right, any other questions? All right, we have nothing on the consent agenda. The first item is a public hearing. So we have a public hearing for the consideration of adoption of resolution number 2026-18, amending the budget for 2026 to recognize additional revenues and appropriate additional expenditures. Presenting is Stephen Krolchuk with our finance director, and the time is 7:01. I'm opening the public hearing.
Good evening, Mayor Austin, town trustees, and all residents here present. The purpose of this public hearing is to present the resolution 2026-18, amending the 2026 budget. There are 4 items proposed on this amendment. One of them is going to be the message boards. As the board knows, the last meeting we went in and talked about the message boards. We wanted to be able to save about $25,000 or $24,000 in expenses that we had originally budgeted for the expenditures. So it came in under budget, which is always good. We also have the Public Works Equipment Storage Project. The expenditures are going to increase $750,000. This is a prior year budget. In 2025, we budgeted for this. So we are actually doing the project starting this year. We also have the Public Works Storage Equipment increase of $18,000. That is due to increased costs in concrete that we had originally budgeted for. John will bring that to the next board meeting and kind of go through that. Then we also have the Meadow Farms Trail, which is expenditure of about $182,000. This is a settlement that happened in 2024 with the town, and the town did receive $225,025, and then minus our legal fees from them, it's gonna leave about $182,000. So the overall net exchange expenditure is gonna be about $926,000 for the general fund. This would be coming from fund balances and from prior year receivable. So staff recommends that the board adopt the resolution 2026 amending the 2026 budget, and I can answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Questions to the board, starting with Trustee Cummins? Any questions?
No questions. No questions.
Okay. Trustee Wakeman?
Just for clarification, overall net increase, right? And we do have those dollars left over for the Meadow Farms, but they're, I'm missing my word, allocated already to the subdivision, correct?
So they were receivable, meaning they're not actually a revenue that was for the town, it's being held for the town, knowing that this was coming forward.
Correct.
Minus our legal fees that we had during that time.
So it shows in our budget, but it still goes towards there.
Yeah, so they still received the revenue in January 25, so you'll see it on the audit this year, but it becomes a receivable, meaning it's just a held fund. It's almost like a liability, and we know we're just gonna pass through and provide it to the trail.
And the other two items, even though it sounds like a large amount of money that we're spending this year that wasn't budgeted for this year, actually is just because projects came from 2025 rather than 2026.
Correct, yeah, so really if you look at the net is gonna be different between the 18,000 and 24 that we saved.
Yeah.
So the 18,000 was unbudgeted for, that was something that's just increased costs this year that we need to do. But the 24,000 does offset that with the message boards that we were able to save.
Yeah,
The 750 is just gonna be what's in fund balances remaining that we didn't start the project last year.
Thank you.
Trustee Nix, any questions?
No questions.
Trustee Rarick?
None.
Trustee Dean?
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt?
No questions.
Two Mayor Pro Tems ago. I have no questions, it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear I'm not going to survive this meeting either. That's two Mayor Pro Tems ago. Sorry. All right. Are there any questions from the public? Hearing none, then the time is 7:05, and I'm going to close the public hearing. I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to adopt resolution 2026-18, amending the 2026 budget to appropriate funds approved by the town board.
Second.
Town clerk, please take a vote.
Trustee Wakeman,
Yes.
Trustee Cummins,
Yes.
Trustee Dean,
Yes.
Trustee Nix,
Yes.
Trustee Rarick,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt.
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is consideration and adoption of resolution number 2026-19, appointment of town officers. Presenting on this one is town clerk.
I put my name on all of them, so I might as well
Okay.
give it a shot, right? Thank you, Mayor and Trustees. Tonight before you is Resolution 2026-19, as required by municipal law. Within so many days of an election, you have to appoint your officers, so that's just following through with protocol. As such, the resolution would appoint Stephen Krolchek as your treasurer, your town attorneys as Matthew Gold, Jed Scott, and Fred Long, and then myself as your town clerk. And I am available for any questions.
Okay, questions from the board. Trustee Dean?
No questions.
Trustee Rarick?
No question.
Trustee Nix?
No questions.
Trustee Wakeman?
No questions.
Trustee Cummins?
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt?
No questions.
I have no questions. If there's no further discussion, I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-19, a resolution appointing treasurer, town attorneys, and town clerk.
Second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Cummins,
Yes.
Trustee Dean,
Yes.
Trustee Nix,
Yes.
Trustee Rarick,
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt,
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next item is Consideration of adoption of resolution number 2026-20, 2026 Board of Trustees meeting schedule adjustments. Presenting is Town Clerk Carrie Reinberger.
Good evening, Mayor and Trustees. Tonight before you is Resolution 2026-20, adjusting our meeting schedule towards the end of the year and canceling one meeting in June. This would cancel June 24th in light of CML. We won't have a majority in order to hold a meeting, and they changed their meeting schedule this year. Usually we move it to a Monday, but they're starting on Monday this year, so we couldn't move that week to a Monday. We have been working as staff to figure out the list of bills and everything that's required to come before you, still to come before you. Veterans Day on November 11th also falls on a Wednesday, so we're requesting to move that one to Monday, November 9th. And as usual, Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays to move them from those Wednesdays to the Mondays prior to.
Any questions from the board? Trustee Wakeman.
No questions, just a request that maybe in the future we can do the doodle poll to choose some dates that, just to have some flexibility.
Sure.
Trustee Nix.
Same, I'd love some flexibility in choosing dates.
Trustee Rarick.
Nothing.
Trustee Dean.
No questions.
Trustee Cummings.
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt.
No questions.
I don't have any. If there's no further questions, I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to adopt resolution 2026-19, a resolution to change the Board of Trustees' regularly scheduled meetings dates from November 11th, 2026 to November 9th, 2026 due to the holiday closure for Veterans Day, November 25th, 2026 to November 23rd, 2026 due to Thanksgiving, December 23rd, 2026 to December 21st, 2026 due to Christmas, and the cancellation of the June 24th, 2026 meeting due to CML Annual Conference.
I second.
Town Clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Dean.
Yes.
Trustee Nix.
Yes.
Trustee Rarick.
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman.
Yes.
Trustee Cummins.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt.
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item is consideration of adoption of resolution number 2026-21, a resolution authorizing certain individuals to act on behalf of the town in business with TBK Bank and other financial matters. Presenting is Stephen Krolchek, our Finance Director.
Good evening again, Mayor Austin and Town Trustees. The purpose of this item is to consider adoption of Resolution 2026-21 bank signature cards. What this does is gives our signature cards current with our reflect our new changes in our current town board. Adds the finance director to this since it was not added since the prior one vacated the position. And then it also removes Ms. Powell here, unfortunately, town administrator, so all this would basically take effect in June. That way we're not have to bring it back again afterwards. Staff recommends that the board adopt the resolution 2026-21, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have.
Questions starting with Trustee Wakeman.
No questions.
Trustee Nix.
No questions.
Trustee Rarick.
No question.
Trustee Cummins.
No questions.
Trustee Dean.
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt.
No questions.
I don't have any either, so it being pretty clear cut. I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to adopt resolution number 2026-21, authorizing certain individuals to act on behalf of the town in business with TBK Bank and other financial matters, and authorize the mayor to sign.
I'll second.
Town Clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Nix.
Yes.
Trustee Rarick.
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman.
Yes.
Trustee Cummins.
Yes.
Trustee Dean.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt.
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And the next item is consideration of adoption of resolution number 2026-22, appointment of town administrator. Presenting is Carrie Reinbarger, Town Clerk.
I don't like this one. No. Good evening, Mayor and Trustees. Before you is Resolution 2026-22. Ties back into the first resolution you adopted, and we have so many days to appoint your administration. But But as such, we also are aware that Cheryl will be leaving us June 1st, so this is a temporary appointment for our administrator, but still to stay within the confines of the law. So I am available with any questions.
Questions from the board? Trustee Cummins?
No questions.
Trustee Dean?
This goes until June 1st, is that what I read? Who's going to be acting in after that until the new administrator is on board?
We would have to bring a resolution for a mayor, for a interim town administrator in the next meeting.
Okay, I thought Cheryl was going to continue to serve on part-time.
No, she had updated us in the town administrator's report last meeting.
That was my plan,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, I don't have daycare for my granddaughter.
Okay,
And so, I mean, I'll be available to anybody still.
okay.
But yeah,
Just trying to clarify, thank you.
sure.
Trustee Rarick?
No question.
Trustee Nix?
No questions.
Trustee Wakeman?
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt?
No questions.
I have no questions. So there's no further discussion. I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-22, a resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Town of Milliken, Colorado, appointing Cheryl Powell as the town administrator.
I second.
Town clerk, please take a vote.
Trustee Rarick?
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Trustee Cummins?
Yes.
Trustee Dean?
Yes,
Trustee Nix?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt?
Yes.
Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. For the next item, I have a conflict of interest. Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt will be taking over the meeting, and I will return later.
While the mayor is exiting, I have, did those documents get
Yeah, I
distributed?
just passed them down.
Okay, just so that you know what was put in front of you, during the interviews, I solicited the salary requirements for each of our candidates. I thought you might want to see those as part of your deliberation on which municipal judge you want to select. So you can look at the numbers at the bottom, and then that resolution for the individual chosen will be presented after this resolution. Hopefully that makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Do that.
Consideration and adoption of Resolution 2026-23, appointment of municipal judge. Presenting is Town Clerk Carrie Reinbarger.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and trustees. Tonight before you is consideration of adoption 2026-23. Earlier this evening, you conducted interviews in an executive session. From those interviews, this allows you a time to discuss and hopefully appoint someone to take over as our judge is finishing at the end of this month. So we need to get somebody appointed before June 3rd court.
Great. Matt, is there any recommendations for the discussion? I think we discussed on the phone earlier what we're not supposed to discuss versus discuss the release.
The only constraint I would suggest is not to discuss the contents of the materials that were submitted that are subject to the mandatory non-disclosure provisions of CORA, which are the applications themselves. Other than that, the qualifications, I think, you can generally discuss, and your responses to the interviewees.
Okay, great. I'm going to do it a little differently since it's open discussion to try to hash things out. I'll just open the floor to all the trustees to discuss how they feel about the judges we interviewed today.
I actually like, not it's that it's a surprise, but enjoyed interviewing all of them and their different perspectives and answers. They all clearly are very well-informed individuals, and so probably for me, a lot comes down to the salary requirements and experience, but definitely enjoyed each one of them and appreciated each of their take on small town municipal court.
I really liked Mr. Grant. I thought he was very experienced, he was well-versed, he was to the point.
I liked his knowledge of restorative justice and community court. And I like his knowledge of municipal court. The experience was important. I also liked Kriya Sledge. I thought that she brought some good experience with her. She doesn't have experience in some of our systems, our restorative justice system, community court systems that we have in place, and so she would need to learn those things. And Marjorie was awesome. It's like she did know that stuff, and that's important to me. Like it's important stuff for the kids in our community. But I thought that that Zachary was really energetic and wanting to learn and really wanting to be a judge, but I just think he lacks the experience. And so are we willing to be where he finds his experience?
For me, a lot of the same. I think two candidates stood out for me, Mr. Grant and Ms. Sledge. I like the slightly different backgrounds and experience levels. They both have experience. And for me, I think Ms. Sledge just nudged above Mr. Grant. He was a totally qualified individual. For the things that I'm looking for and I think the community can benefit from, I think she, for me, just came out a little bit on top.
I particularly liked Marjorie more than, and Thomas Grant second. But I thought Marjorie brought out, had the experience and had the demeanor that would best serve the court.
I did like her demeanor.
Yeah. Pardon?
I liked her demeanor.
Yes.
Yeah, she was sweet.
I'd echo Trustee Dean. I did like Marjorie. Her demeanor was well. Obviously, tons of experience with restorative justice as well, and just years of experience within different municipalities and different legal avenues. Probably second for me would be Mr. Grant. He just has a wealth of experience as well. I did appreciate he was kind of up against it during the interview, and he was brief but thorough as requested. Got the point across with, didn't need a dissertation, it just was very pointed. And then Ms. Sledge, I did appreciate her just enthusiasm of why she would want to be a municipal judge. It really stuck out with me. She enjoyed it, that kind of thing. So for me, we have a lot of great candidates. Unfortunately, we only can pick one. Do we have any more discussion on the topic before I bring a motion? All right. And I'll take a motion on the resolution.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-23, a resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Town of Milliken, Colorado, selecting and appointing Marjorie K. Nankin as municipal judge for the Town of Milliken.
Second.
Town clerk, please call for the vote.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Trustee Cummins?
Abstain.
Trustee Dean?
Yes.
Trustee Nix?
Yes.
Trustee Rarick?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right.
I'm sorry, that was Marjorie, you said, right?
Yeah, Marjorie.
Yeah.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the resolution for, what's the resolution?
2026-24.
2624, a resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Town of Milliken, Colorado, setting the compensation of the municipal court judge. Presenting is Matthew Gold.
I can present, sure. And I'm sorry that this was added late.
That's all right.
But this is based on input taken from Ms. Nannian. She is requesting a monthly payment in the amount of $1,600, and as an aside, I think that's what we're paying our current judge. And then hourly compensation for additional work outside of those sessions at $100 per hour. So we just need a motion approving that resolution and a vote.
Okay.
I move to adopt resolution number 2624, agreeing to compensate Judge Nanian a monthly stipend of $1,600 for 2 regular court sessions, and then $100 per hour for additional time in trials, research, and written orders when necessary.
I second.
Tom Clerk, please call for the vote.
Trustee Cummins.
Yes.
Trustee Dean.
Yes.
Trustee Rarick.
Yes.
Trustee Nix.
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Orcutt.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Bless you.
Bless you.
You're welcome. You have to turn
Things
these
will
in.
proceed.
Yes, ma'am.
Good to know. All right. Next item on the agenda is the open meetings law and related matters under the discussion agenda. Presenting is Matthew Gould.
Thank you, Mayor Austin. The purpose of this discussion is to provide a refresher on just a limited number of issues, given that the opportunity to use extended work session time to address these matters is limited right now. Existing board members may recall that we typically do an educational orientation type session shortly after the election. This year, we're pretty constrained for time. We did have a candidate training orientation on a Saturday in advance of the election. And you might recall that in 2024, we actually invited Tammy Tenoy, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, to come in. She is with CIRSA, or was then, to make a presentation. She's got a lot of experience in this area. But I just wanted to go over some key topics. We do want to do some additional, more in-depth discussion with the board about these matters because we know that they're very important. When we can make the time, maybe in a month or so. So let's just jump into some of the open meetings law basics. The first question is, why do these rules matter? Public participation is generally to be encouraged as a matter of law and as a policy in Colorado, and public policy should not be set in secret, and that's the goal of what we call open meetings. Quoting from the Colorado Revised Statutes, it is declared to be a matter of statewide concern and the policy of this state that the formation of public policy is public business and may not be conducted in secret. Okay, so let's talk about what is required. Notice is key. According to the open meetings law, and this is an extended section I'm going to read from the statutes, any meetings at which the adoption of any proposed policy, position, resolution, rule, regulation, or formal action occurs, or at which a majority or quorum of the body is in attendance or is expected to be in attendance, shall be held only after full and timely notice to the public. In addition to any other means of full and timely notice, a local public body shall be deemed to have given full and timely notice if the notice of the meeting is posted in a designated public place within the boundaries of the local public body no less than 24 hours prior to the holding of the meeting. The public place or places for posting such notice shall be designated annually at the local public body's first regular meeting of each calendar year. The posting shall include, so this is the posting of the notice of meetings, shall include specific agenda information where possible. So that's a long statute, and I apologize for taking so much time to read it. However, let's highlight a couple of key elements. The first is the most important element, and that is notice of the meeting itself. Okay? The requirement also indicates there should be specific agenda information where possible, and the Colorado Supreme Court has stated that this is a flexible standard. I'm going to read from a Colorado Supreme Court case. The open meetings law itself neither establishes the manner in which notice must be given, nor defines the content of the required notice. In view of the numerous meetings to which the statutory requirement is applicable, we hold that the full and timely notice requirement establishes a flexible standard aimed at providing fair notice to the public. So what I will add is that staff works on an ongoing basis, reviewing every agenda entry, every agenda item, not just for regular meetings, but for work sessions too, to ensure that this standard is met. It's fair to say that once in a while, maybe we could include more detail. We're doing our best to catch those situations, and we'll continue to do so in the future. So let's talk about what constitutes a board meeting. And again, this is a matter that is very important to start to understand right out of the gate with a new board. According to the Colorado statutes, meeting means any kind of gathering convened to discuss public business, in person, by telephone, electronically, or by other means of communication. Now, there's one thing to note here, and that is, it doesn't say how many people it takes to constitute a meeting. In theory, 2 people can constitute a meeting, but that doesn't necessarily mean, and it actually doesn't mean, that notice has to be given when 2 people talk. Chance meetings and social gatherings do not invoke open meetings law. Here's another quote from a statute. This Part 4 does not apply to any chance meeting or social gathering at which discussion of public business is not the central purpose. Now, what we want to do when we hold a more in-depth discussion about this is probably, I'll pose some hypotheticals and give the board a chance to comment on whether they think a particular scenario constitutes a meeting that needs to be noticed. Now, one more statute. All meetings of a quorum or 3 or more members of any local body, whichever is fewer, at which any public business is discussed or at which any formal action may be taken, are declared to be public meetings open to the public at all times. So this is where a lot of concern arises. When there is a chance that 3 board members or 3 members of, let's just say, a subordinate governing body or a quorum of such a body could get together and discuss public business, it's subject to the notice requirements, the publication requirements, the agenda requirements, all of that. And this is also why we get concerned, staff gets concerned about board members emailing each other. I'm going to read a description of a case that was in Douglas County a few years ago. This is in regard to serial meetings, and this is where one board member talks to another about a topic, that board member then talks to another about the topic, and that board member talks to somebody else. Even though at any one time it's only 2 people, it ends up being 3 or even as much as most of the board or a quorum. Douglas County resident Robert Marshall has won an early victory in his lawsuit against Douglas County School Board. Marshall alleged that the board's 4 newest members broke Colorado's open meetings law by talking one-on-one in a coordinated decision-making manner about whether to fire then Superintendent Corey Wise. In February, during a special public meeting that included no public comment, the board voted 4-3 to fire Wise. Judge Holmes issued a temporary injunction barring the Board of Education, quote, from engaging in discussions of public business or taking formal action either as a group or through a series of meetings by less than 3 members at a time, except in public meetings open to the public. So this is basically the first time, and it's a district court case, but it's the first time a Colorado court has recognized that there is an open meetings law issue with series of emails. Now, there are other forms of that we've talked about. The wagon wheel meeting where one person calls a series of individuals and other variations. But the key is that, emails between board members can be dangerous. They can be problematic under the open meetings laws. And this is an area where I recommend extreme caution. Board members should not send group emails to other board members If something that needs to be disseminated to other board members, I recommend sending it to the town administrator or the town attorney, because I have found no law indicating that dissemination of information to board members by the town attorney or the town clerk or the town administrator, as long as it stops there, that is problematic under the open meetings rule, because you don't have board members cooperating to establish public policy. So that is a recommended course if you think you have something that needs to go out to board members and you don't have the ability to bring it up at a meeting. Okay, let's talk about board member roles. And I will open this up for questions when we get through this. I'm sorry it's a bit of a long spiel. When it comes to taking formal action, each board member has one vote, and the board only acts as a whole. This includes the mayor pro tem. Still, the mayor does have a distinctive position based on other considerations. You can look this up in our own municipal code. Section 2220 sets some distinct elements of the mayor's role. When present, for example, the mayor presides over meetings. Among other things, the mayor has a recognized figurehead role. So let me read this from the code. Insofar as is required by statute and for all ceremonial purposes, the mayor shall be the executive head of the town. Also, under an ordinance that was just passed last year, the mayor has authority to adjourn a meeting in the event of disruption, and that's under section 2-2-80 D1. Now, the figurehead role of the mayor, while not empowering the mayor to take any kind of formal action on behalf of the town, does carry some meaning to citizens. In this regard, I know that Mayor Austin has assisted Cheryl in promoting the town to outside parties. Some examples are when the library was threatening to move. I understand they met with library personnel and actually ended up enhancing the library. Another, I think, is donation of property to Civica, and I'm sure there may be others. I would also add there is nothing to prevent any board member from promoting the town to outside parties. So, but I do think it's fair to say when the mayor is there, there's a figurehead aspect to that the community recognizes. Let's see, I think, yeah, I've got two more topics. So setting the agenda, this has been the subject of some emails. Under section 2-2-90 of the municipal code, meeting agendas are prepared by the town clerk acting at the direction of the mayor. That code section, based on my research, was adopted in 1984, so it's been around a long time. There are not any statutes that establish how a meeting agenda is to be set. So the town has some discretion in establishing its own policy there. Mayor Austin has historically invited board members, one at a time, to participating in the meeting where the agenda is set. Some concern has been expressed that possibly the content of discussions during those meetings should be shared with board members. So rather than compile a report to board members about the mayor's meeting discussions, which I think could have its own open meetings issues, I recommended to the mayor that she consider suspending the inclusion of board members in these meetings. It should be made clear, in my view, that every board member has the right to request the addition of agenda topics. I think that is inherent within your elected role. Now, I have one more topic. I did receive some questions about board member attendance at meetings of what we call subordinate government bodies. Typically, I would consider such bodies to be local public bodies. And if you remember my reading from the open meetings law, it's targeting local public bodies. So they would be within the meaning of that law and subject to those rules. Meetings of these bodies are open to the public and public comment is typically allowed. And this would extend to board members who would attend in their personal capacity, and this is specifically allowed by Section 2EI of Appendix C to the Milliken Policies and Procedures Manual. I think that the issue here, from my perspective, is that it would be helpful for us to do some training of the leaders of these committees and boards and governing bodies in meeting procedures. I have conferred with Carrie about this, and I think we're talking about when we might be able to do that. So those are the topics that I thought were important, given some discussions that have occurred offline, and I'm happy to take any questions that anyone would like to ask.
I don't have any questions, but I do feel that strongly that, I know you are out there like in the next month that we can have training, but it needs to be something that needs to happen by then. I think it's important for current board and previous board and just open, consistency on how things are supposed to work and making sure we're abiding by that in all aspects.
Okay?
So I don't really have a question, but I would like that to just be, on record that we need to make some intention on making that happen sooner or later.
Okay, I appreciate that comment. I'm available. We do all have kind of schedules that are pretty tight for different reasons, some of them related to Milliken and some of them otherwise. But by all means, I will do everything to make myself available to assist with that.
What is the proper way to get items added to the agenda?
You send an email to the town clerk and copy me. That was on the form that I handed out last meeting. Okay. And then we'll get it on as soon as we can. It depends upon what's already scheduled.
Got it.
So I guess for me, and obviously this is a constant conversation for us, right? And everybody interprets it a little bit differently. And some of the frustration as an elected individual is that, we all talk about transparency and have a desire for transparency. And the Open Meetings Act should facilitate that, right? But the frustration is that it actually feels like it hinders us in terms of communicating, and I think that's what our challenge is, and what we're all trying to navigate appropriately. And obviously, we understand for you as council, you want us to be as conservative as possible, and we need to figure out how to navigate and mind the rules and not make you nervous. But at the same time, be transparent with the public. And so I do think I think it came up, that our initial social media policy, that we maybe need to take another look at that and see where we can maybe carve out a little bit more flexibility, mostly because not only does it impact us and how we can communicate with the rest of the community, but also then it does impact those subordinate committees as well. And they have some different roles than we do and aren't elected officials. And so I think we have some things to maybe talk about and figure out how we can facilitate communication for ourselves as a board, but also take into consideration that some of those committees have some different roles and some different needs in communicating with the public as well, and that maybe needs to be some different rules.
Understood. And that, generally speaking, you have some power there.
Yeah. And so I do think not only do we need to review, but take into consideration that maybe we have some things that we could improve upon.
Yeah, transparency. Matt got to bill the town about an hour of time the other day because we were on the phone and had a great conversation about all these things. Kind of trying to brainstorm. I hate to say workaround, but to be able to express what we would like in between meetings without maybe putting the whole board on there and violating open meetings law. And we kind of came to he suggested send it to the staff, have the staff disseminate it out, And then that way, everybody can be aware of what everybody's thinking, and then, reply individually to staff regarding that, issue or idea. And,
I think that is a legitimate approach. I think we have to be careful that we don't let that become
Right.
a kind of exchange. But it's worth exploring. And I think by sending it to staff, then you have a filter, and somebody might say, wait a second, it may not be just a dissemination of information. It's one thing if you want to share an article about, I don't know, data centers. It's another thing if you want to give your opinion on how to vote on something coming up. So, but staff is always working to do it right. I know Carrie puts a ton of energy into it.
Well, and I do think you brought up dissemination of information versus discussion, and I think that's something that we all need to talk about and get very comfortable with in terms of, in all aspects, and kind of do a personal check, to be honest, when we're sharing information versus discussion, and hold each other accountable, to be honest.
I will say this, in some areas, it's very difficult to find good interpretation of the open meetings law. There is some case law out there, even though it's been around for years, but there are certainly gaps. And attorneys do their best to answer questions, and typically we try to choose a course that is conservative and safe to protect the board and the town.
One of my biggest frustrations is not always getting the same information as some get. And so that could lead to violations of open meeting, because we're searching for that information. Like the information of Cheryl leaving on June 1st was not our knowledge, is not in the minutes from last meeting. And so it's assumed by some that we all know, but we don't.
Okay, appreciate that input.
I did hear that announced.
I
It's
think it was
not in
during the
there.
work session. though,
No,
was it
it
not?
was, no.
I just read through the minutes again, and it's not in there.
It was during the work session.
During the work session?
Yeah.
I thought you did it at the end of your report.
My town administrator report,
Yeah.
I don't have it, well,
But maybe
Well,
moving
I don't-
forward, like a good
Yeah,
email
I
would
think
be
this is
nice.
focused on kind of
Yeah.
refreshing rather than looking back and so on. I can tell you that we do work pretty hard to try to make sure everything's disseminated, and we'll continue to,
Yeah.
keep those efforts up.
Informational emails before meetings, things like that would be nice.
Well, I'm glad to know you appreciate that,
Yeah.
because we do try to do that especially on key topics, which,
And we are going to email out the future meeting log after the Wednesday following mayor's meetings. They're not always done at 5, so I don't want to promise you
Yeah.
I'm going to get it to
I
you
got-
on a Tuesday.
I got the last
So
one you
it'll be
sent,
on
so that was nice.
the Wednesdays of a planning commission, so the week prior to your meeting. So you guys can see that and also ask questions. And if there's something you see you want added, like Matt said, share with staff, and so we can have that communication as well.
I appreciate
Instead of
that.
hand it out at the meeting.
Well, and I think, for me, anything that can be sent out electronically, so we have a chance to review things ahead of times, rather than just hand it out in a meeting, and so that we're trying to read while we're also listening at the same time, is certainly helpful too. And so I know at one particular time, we were meeting with the library board, and all we have is a title for the work session. So that additional communication about exactly why we're meeting, what it's about, I think that's part of the challenge, is that it kind of feels like we get one side of the conversation, but not both sides of the conversation a lot of times, in terms of that. And so just that extra step in maybe describing what the intended purpose is definitely helpful.
I've stated this before, and one of the things that would be beneficial to me, and I know Cheryl's not going to be here, but in the future, the administrator's report, I always appreciated the verbal, but I also like to have a written copy distributed so we could kind of follow along. I think that's kind of what you were referring to as a little better communication tool in that regard. And also, there was kind of a couple of things that came to the board. I felt like they might have been put on the agenda because they were really looking for decisions, what I didn't have a problem with, but they could have been formalized and we could have officially done it rather than just nodding our heads. Such as the Historical Society release, that type of thing. We knew ahead of time that they were looking for it. It would be helpful just to put it on the agenda and approve it.
I think that probably that Historical Society release will come back to you.
Well, that's fine. I'm just saying, rather
there
than...
was discussion about the use of the park in advance, and we decided the board really didn't have an essential role there, or it would have been.
Well,
Yeah. So, but it's a good comment.
okay.
And we don't always know what the public's going to come and say every time either. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
Any other
Okay.
discussion? Any other final comments? Matthew?
No, just that these are things that we work on all the time. So, and we're going to keep that effort up.
All right. Next item on the agenda is the board reports. Does anybody have a board report that they would like to bring forth?
I went to the riveting North Front Range MPO meeting last Thursday. I did ask Dan if he wanted to split those with me. I thought he had an affinity to them, but he did not, and I understand why now. Although this one was maybe a little bit more interesting. They had Larimer and Weld counties teamed up with some contractors to do a local market report, which was a very interactive roadmap on contrasts between Larimer and Weld County in terms of population, age, job markets. Obviously, we have more oil and gas. They have a lot of education, CSUs there, education levels and things of that nature. One thing I did pull away, they did talk about the Trans-Pacific pollution coming from Asia. That was a hot topic still. And out of 25 cities, I thought this was kind of interesting. Denver was number 8 in most pollution, and Fort Collins, Loveland, that upper area was number 18. And we thought it was probably because of the mountains just kind of keep things in, but I did think that was pretty interesting that they were so high on the list. I think we were online with Salt Lake City, which has more pollution, and Denver and other areas. So it was the Fort Collins one was surprising to me, honestly. But other than that, just amazing.
Just remember, I did 4 years. 4 years.
I did 4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do allow Zoom, so.
Yeah, that's going to be
interdisperse it.
Zoom will be the next one. I did want to go to the first one and show my face and say hi to people. I got some kind of impromptu training. I showed up a little bit early to kind of get some training from the coordinator there and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, it was fairly interesting. I just wish people weren't as long-winded sometimes. Because I went to like 8:30. I'm like, okay, I'm tired now.
Actually, I did find them interesting, just very long and
Very long.
tiring.
Any other board reports?
We had a Community Justice Council meeting yesterday morning. And so we talked a lot about restorative justice and giving some leeway to not take some of those cases, like not have them eligible for restorative justice. Because right now, everything's kind of getting pushed that way and filtered that way, and there are some cases that are not eligible that shouldn't be pushed that way. So we're also working with the school to pull in some more truancy counseling to try and get kids back in school before, and not have them go to county court for truancy. But it works. Kids that make it through restorative justice usually don't reoffend, and they do a lot of work. So it's good.
Any other reports?
Obviously, several of us were at the library grand opening, which was fantastic and clearly a huge resource, a huge addition to our community. And so many thanks for everybody that has worked on behalf of the town as well as the community and school district. It's definitely multiple individuals coming together to make that happen. And then also a huge note that finally the modular that the school district was donating to the Milliken Food Pantry was moved from across the street. So housed at Milliken Presbyterian Church, but again, a lot of partnerships there with the school district, obviously making that happen, going through the town for approval process. It was a long process. And then Presbyterian Church as well as Methodist Church, several churches, many bodies, not just those, but many people contribute to that. So it's definitely a community effort to provide that food pantry. So big step forward on getting it moved.
I think so.
On May 6th, I attended a school board meeting. It was a short meeting due to the weather, the little blustery snowstorm that we had. They were actually hoping to cancel it, but everybody dogged their way into it. Some interesting things came out of that. They went through a benchmark statistics, just talking about how the kids have improved in all areas, English, math, science, over the year. So far, it was really good to see the market improvements that the kids have made due to the teachers and the staff over there. There's obviously lots of end of year events coming up. Everybody's getting out of school in 2 weeks, thereabout. And so they're going to be running wild. You know, the city parks and the pools and things are going to be at capacity. Let me see. They're excited about their bringing new curriculum to the school. That was a big topic that they talked about. The Teen Impact Awards, I think, Trustee Dean, did you go to that?
Yes.
The Impact Awards. They recognized that you were there, and that was a big deal for them as well. You talked about the library opening. They're very proud of that. The Roosevelt had actually hosted the first Special Olympics at their school. So that was kudos to them. Wonderful move on their part. The baseball team, I think everybody saw in the news, played Coors Field down there, and they lost that game. I think it was their first loss, unofficial loss of the season. But all the players got to play across the bench. I can't remember the name of the school that they played, but they only played their 9 starters, and Roosevelt played every player, so they got to get on the major league field in that experience. Other than that was it. It was a good meeting.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
It should have been.
All right, I got a message from the school superintendent, Scott Nielsen, that he wanted to have a chat. Don't know what it's about. It'll be interesting. As the liaison, Ricky Burke will go with me because I never go to those things alone. And so we will have a report for you when we find out what that's about. Sure, it'll be something else interesting. Any questions, concerns, or comments? Okay, I would request that the board members stay for just a minute. We do have to sign this resolution for the bank. So unless you want to come back down and sign it. Okay. Is there any other business to come before the board? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're done.